You know, it's kinda sad that the only real sour point of indie games is also an incredible positive at points. Like, it's great to find another indie smash hit that everyone's talking about, but like, man, it feels genuinely amazing when you find this really cool indie that no one's talking about. It's like finding this golden treasure you had no idea was even there. And some people don't like to share that treasure and they keep it to themselves or act entitled about how they were the real fans. Not me though. When I find something really cool and I know most people haven't played or talked about it, I get a little bit mad, bro. I get a tad bit insane and will bring that game up at any possible opportunity, no matter the circumstances at play. Case in point, have you ever seen this dope game about a puppy with a paintbrush? 2021 had some amazing games. 2 I've already talked about, 2 I'm still trying to figure out how to bring up in conversation, and 1 that if I don't talk about ASAP I might strangle somebody. Chicory is a beautiful, wonderful game about a puppy with a paintbrush, but also has a real, genuine connection to the darkness of humanity, specifically the darkness in our own minds. And I'm gonna stop right there with that stuff, because it's way better for you to experience this story for yourself. And by the end of this video, I really hope you consider purchasing and playing Chicory, so I definitely don't want to go and spoil it for you. So I'll just say that the story is great and I think everyone can relate to it on some level. Oh, and I also went from despising to absolutely loving Chicory the character. Oh, yeah, you don't play as Chicory, that's your mentor. You play as the puppy that is named after your favorite food. What a loaded question to ask a man. I mean, honestly, how am I supposed to pick a favorite food? You don't ask somebody to pick their favorite DS model, do you? It's the light, by the way. How am I supposed to pick between pizza, mac and cheese, fettuccine, crab legs, mussels, chimichangas, fajitas, ravioli, shrimp scampi, rice, sushi, butter pecan ice cream, and or butter pecan ice cream, whichever pisses you off more, peanut butter milkshake, subs, nachos, hot dogs, salads, cookies, pop, and or soda, whichever pisses you off more, your mom's caramel cheesecake recipe. This is ridiculous. How am I supposed to pick one? One single solid favorite food. I went with quesadilla. It's a childhood favorite, what can I say? So after the mental anguish akin to picking your least favorite limb to chop off, you get started playing the game and you'll find that it's this wonderful mix of Zelda and a coloring book, giving you lots of places to explore and color to your heart's content, and allowing you to grow your connection to the brush to gain new abilities to travel and explore more throughout this amazing world that's just filled to the brim with some of the most endearing characters, like Quesadilla's wonderful family and the previous wielders of the brush, including Chicory, who is probably one of the best characters in this game, and then of course the most base character of all time, Radish. She's kind of a jerk to you, at first criticizing your art in the art school, which if you really tried your best must have been really heartbreaking to hear her criticisms. But if you're like me and you just drew whatever the heck you wanted, it actually makes Radish look like the only sane person in the classroom, and her outbursts become justified and hilarious. The teacher said to make something from the heart with tones of deep-seated love and admiration, to this convoluted blah of this late-stage democratic ducky. Radish is my favorite character in this game, and I love her arc of accepting you as the new wielder, and you even get to help her out in her career as an artist. And although I understand, Miss Gallery Lady, that this gallery only takes the art of real artists or whatever, I must say, as the wielder, Quesadilla's word is law, and Radish's art will be hung wherever Quesadilla wills it to be, and that act of rebellion will not be tolerated.
I'm in charge.
Do you feel in charge?
I've paid you a small fortune.
This gives you power over me?
Pure evil.
I'm necessary evil.
By the way, if we did get to choose the next wielder, I think I know who my choice would be. Speaking of art, you can pretty much color this world however your heart desires, and you are given, or at least you can find, whatever tools you'll need for the job. Though I have to admit, I'm with P here, and I think taking a giant brush and coloring everything as fast as possible is 100% the correct way to do things. And the paint bucket is my go-to tool, especially in boss fights.
Tactical nuke incoming!
Of course, if you have an inferior mindset, you can go through and put thought or effort into your designs, and you can even see online that people have made some really beautiful looking areas with what the game gives you. But for me, yeah, I'm just nuking everything. But you know, there's more to Chicory than just coloring and adventuring. You can solve a mystery at a fancy hotel, you can scour the world in search of lost children, which would probably be a bigger deal to the land of picnic, but okay. Find presents littered around the world, or just straight up litter that you can pick up and use to trade for items. You can even put furniture down almost everywhere and make the world of picnic your own. The music is fantastic and sets the mood perfectly for whatever situation you're in. And you may recognize the composer, Lena Raine, who's worked on a variety of music for titles such as Celeste and even Minecraft. All the music for Chicory is on Spotify, and it's honestly a great listen for smooth tunes to relax or blood-pumping boss destruction. What can I say? I'm a man of variety. You can also dress up your puppy in a lot of different ways, from pocket jackets to mullets to even Godzilla, so make sure you give your quesadilla the best fit possible. Or even the worst if you feel like it. Loser. You know, I really don't want to spoil the story, as I think the blind approach is really better for a game like this. But at the same time, I don't want to undersell it, as its message is a good one to be reminded about, especially in an industry such as art. No, it's a good message to be reminded of in general, for just about everybody. The story probably isn't life-changing or anything, but it's heartwarming, and it really does just hit all those wonderful notes. Unlike myself in this minigame. Why is this so difficult? Dude, just hold it. Like, is it a tap multiple times kind of thing? Or just hold it, man. Look, I'm trying. I'm just not a rhythm game kind of guy. Stop stressing out. You don't have to pass it to complete it. Look, long years, I'm trying, and actually, that's something I gotta talk about. You see, this game has some super intense boss fights that may be intimidating if you're just here to color and see the story. Well, lucky for you, Chicory doesn't have a game over. It just picks you up and you keep going, which is kinda nice in a game like this. And if you still have trouble, you can change the settings to make the game better fit you, and even turn off bosses and add trigger warnings. If fighting the eternal darkness isn't a part of your cute puppy coloring time, it doesn't have to be. Now, where can you play Chicory? Well, Chicory: A Colorful Tale is available on the PS4, PS5, Nintendo Switch, and PC. I played the PC and most of the Switch port for this video, and I can say they're both great experiences. Especially with the Switch port's motion controls, which are a really cool in-between for a mouse-like cursor and the comfort of a controller. However, now is probably the time to talk about some of the issues with Chicory. Nothing to seriously hurt the experience of this game, and I'll even say that even with its flaws, Chicory is something to be experienced if it looks up your alley. But the issues are too noticeable to just ignore. For instance, controller just doesn't work on PC. It has this issue where it drifts your character and it makes the game think it's in multiplayer mode, so you really just can't use controller at all. The Switch has some serious performance issues, namely before the title screen, and that can't be overlooked even with the quirky quotes. Also, be careful where you save in the Switch version, as it has the chance to soft lock you somewhere and you can't get out of it and you'll have to delete your save. Also, fiddling with the controls on the Switch version can sometimes have the side effect of turning off gyro controls, even if it says they're on the settings screen. The motion controls themselves also have some issues, but I'm willing to blame that more on the Joy-Cons themselves than Chicory. A problem with both titles is that the color just seems to, bleed out of bounds of some objects in the game, which got really annoying to fix over time. And these trees have their leaves on the wrong game layer. The leaves color and controller issues on PC have been a problem since I believe the demo that was released early last year. At least the controller and color issues were. I seem to remember the leaves being on the right layer in the demo, but I may be misremembering that. A big reason I waited to talk about this game is because I was waiting to see if these little issues were fixed, and they still haven't been. Making it worse is now I have experienced the issues on the Switch version. I'd still recommend the Switch version, especially as someone whose hands really start to hurt when I play on keyboards. That gyro is very nice. Like I said, this game is still worth it, even with these issues. But I did want to at least wait and see if these issues were fixed, and they weren't. And I'm not 100% sure these issues will be fixed. Like I said, these are minor issues, and even the Switch stuff was easily fixed. Just don't save in Quentin the Wielder's temple, and restore to default the settings to get the gyro back. But they are issues all the same, and the controller thing and the soft locking absolutely needs to be fixed. It just wouldn't have been right to not mention these issues while praising everything else about Chicory. And with all that, I guess you can guess my verdict on this game. Chicory, A Colorful Tale is a really yeah, actually, I'm sure you get it at this point. It's good, and I really enjoyed it, and I think if you liked what you've heard so far, you will too. It does have its downsides that I hope the developers look into. But all in all, it's just a high quality game that's just a pleasant experience. If you're worried about the price of $20 being a bit much for this game, well, how about you take a gander at what the rest of the industry considers $60 worthy? But honestly, I get it, budgets and all that stuff, and maybe you're interested in this game but not fully sold. I have seen this game go on sale a few times, so just wait for one of those if you want. It's really not that serious. How does this even work? I mean, you've seen the TikToks of people doing this for anime openings in Fire and Flames, right? It's kind of like that, but easy. Oh, so now you're patronizing me. Just chill. It's a cute, quirky thing that'll make the end credits sweeter. Make the end credits sweeter. Dude, I'm sorry. By the way, it's Chicory, not Chicory. Yeah, I know. I saw a Good Eats episode before I recorded this. I just, Chicory just sounds a lot better. Hey, whichever pisses you off more, alright?